So there is a free streaming platform called Tubi that has a wide variety of movies, some good, some not so great, but I love all kinds of movies, good movies, bad movies, everything in between. This is not a sponsored post, but it could be. So today I'm going to watch the 1980 film The Changeling. I love 80s movies. I'm hoping for some cheesy 80s elements. I love cheesy movies as well. I don't really know what to guess off of the title of this film because Changeling, maybe something sci-fi, maybe something, physically changing. That's my only real prediction based on the title. I typically enjoy more like psychological horrors as opposed to slasher film, and I love practical effects, so I'm hoping to see some practical effects, given the time that this came out, and I love the creativity that goes behind it. So yeah, I'm very curious to see what this is all about, but one-word titles, it's kind of hard to have, predictions for, so yeah, I'm curious to see where we're gonna go. But thank you so much for sharing and this first time watching with me. If you have any other suggestions for movies you think I should watch, please comment below. And if you want to have a say in what movies or TV shows I watch, be sure to join Patreon. And as always, please like, comment, and subscribe to this channel, and check back often for more awesome content.
No, right up here we're gonna stop. Keep pushing, don't quit.
Mexico next time.
Hawaii better.
Yeah.
The start of the movie is always the happiest part of the movie. Oh, goodness.
Come on, let's have a snowball fight.
No.
So wholesome. Which makes me worried that things are going to take a turn. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. And he's going to see the whole thing happen. Oh my god. They're going to try it. Oh my gosh. Oh. Oh my gosh. With just having the title come up with that. Oh no. That's grim. That's a grim start. Is he related to Michael Douglas in any way? He kind of looks similar. Yeah, let me know in the comments. I don't recognize any of the other cast members so far. I really like the soundtrack so far as well. It's very, this like piano music, really ominous with, yeah, this very like rainy and cold city. I'm not seeing his family, so And that we have like the dates is interesting as well. Like this is, 3 or 4 months later. So yeah, usually we don't see like specific dates. Yeah, I'm not sure if it's based on, I didn't see it in the credits, if it's based on a book or anything like that, so let me know. That is a big old house. Oh my goodness. Definitely some ghosts gonna be lurking around there, let alone the ones he's bringing with him. It's reminded me a little bit of The Shining. We'll see where it goes.
There were plans at one time to turn it into some kind of a museum. But I don't know, I guess the house was meant to be lived in.
And I love all these overhead shots, like with them driving up and then from the stairs as well.
That are just stored. You'd have your pick of them. Whatever you like.
I love a creepy old house. Yeah, with the library. Oh my gosh, so much history. I love the built-in bookcases. I love the architecture, like the details, these little designs around the frame of the shelves and the doorway. I'm obsessed with it. Could do a whole video just on how much I love the little details in houses and the architectural design. Not where this is going, but just an aside. I knew it was haunted. There's no way that this old house isn't haunted. Oh my gosh.
Yes, I'm still working on the second movement. Same old problem. Well, maybe the lectures will help. Get some new ideas going.
Yeah, let me know where they filmed this. I'm curious to find out. It looks, yeah, like they were using an actual college campus. like these like observational shots we're doing as well, like these really long tracking shots. Like we had one going through all the rooms of the house, you know, kind of following him, and now yeah, it feels almost like we're spying on him, which I think is the intention. Like we're just kind of watching from a distance. This, you know, we're not seeing him right at the door, we're lurking in the bushes, and like this perspective of, you know, seeing the whole building as well during this storm. I don't recognize the song.
Did you ever finish it?
I didn't know.
He's like, how did that get there? Yeah, suspicious.
You going riding?
Yes. Do you ride?
I'm feeling like it's going to be more of a slow burn. Like there's been some subtle spooky things, like the door opening, the piano playing on its own, which I like. Like we haven't seen a ton of blood or gore or anything like that. So I'm curious to see where this is all going to go, but definitely some spooky things lingering. That definitely sounds like someone just banging away on a piano. Oh my gosh. Did Kathy come with him to the new house? And I think if you're gonna, you know, have a movie where the main character is a music composer, having the music of the film needs to be just as strong to kind of emphasize his connection to music. So yeah, the soundtrack's been great so far. Just this really haunting, like instrumental music. And we've also had, you know, like, yeah, like a tap random turningly on, or like a piano playing, and just all of these little subtle, like it sounded like someone was laughing almost as well. So I love this long shot down the staircase. That's really cool. So yeah, I'm very curious, but I love that they've included that connection to music for the viewers as well. Yeah, he knows that wasn't him, obviously. Someone's turning the tap on. Oh my gosh. Oh, and like the quick zoom in. Oh my gosh. Get out of there, man.
House shouldn't have been rented. Miss Norman rushed those papers through our attorney's office. She did not use proper channels.
Why would she do that?
That house is not fit to live in. No one's been able to live in it.
Does that mean they've died in it? I don't like the way she phrased it. And that came from inside the house? Oh my god, what was that? Now the house is exploding, just glass randomly breaking. He doesn't seem concerned. Okay, secret passageway. Interesting. This old house is just endless. And I like that they're showing it off like that, just showing how isolated he is in this giant house. Or was that the banging sound? Oh, it's not 6 a.m. Ghosts don't want you getting in that room. Clearly someone's locked it up, boarded it up, like they don't want anybody there. And of course the sound stops the same time he actually like opens the lock. Interesting. Yeah, again, this POV through the cobwebs, through the door that's like just open a tiny bit to see the light coming through. Okay, whose room is this? Look like someone's study, like there's a desk, and there's the window that broke for sure. Is that a tiny wheelchair? What is that? $1909. Oh my gosh. obviously been sealed up for a while. And the color red we see frequently in horror movies. He's got his red sweater, the red, notebook, the red in the window, and even when he opened it, like the red lights that were coming in created like this like shadow on the wall as well. And of course, there's a music box. Yeah, tying together this connection of music.
In the same key. What do you think?
I don't know. It's a startling coincidence.
And that's the same song he just composed that he thought he had created.
Well, it wouldn't be on the music box.
I agree, but I swear I never heard it before I played it and recorded it that day you came over. No.
So creepy. Yeah, clearly.
Trying to get me into that attic room.
I want to see it.
And if she rushed through the paperwork, was that because she was trying to help him get into a house soon, or does she have ulterior motives? They always have to go exploring at night during a storm.
Sold the house in 1909.
1909? That's right. I'll set it up for you.
I like that we're like finding out about the history and kind of solving the mystery of this house. Even though we know John has his own tragedy with his family, it seems like the story is focusing more on this history of the house.
Cora Bernard, 7-year-old daughter of Dr. Walter Bernard, prominent Seattle physician, was struck, seriously injured.
Oh my gosh.
She was hastened to St. Margaret's Hospital, where her condition remains grave, so forth and so on.
Cora Bernard.
No one is to blame. Oh, that's her. Oh my gosh, the little girl.
Was killed in the street. It was an accident, almost the same as Kathy.
Yeah, the parallels are very eerie. And he obviously lost a daughter, so he can relate to this. So creepy. Oh my gosh. Yeah, it's not like, an axe-wielding madman chasing you down. It's just like the subtle things I think makes it more realistic and creepy. It looked like there was an outline of a shadow, but maybe I'm just imagining it now because it's got that mindset. I don't think that's gonna solve it. I think it's gonna find its way back to you. You got ghosts, buddy. You got ghosts. That would be so scary. I couldn't even imagine. And just the shot of the ball, the low angle, like looking up at him like the ball has the power. Oh my god, get out of there.
We are here to help you.
And just like these vacant eyes, but also they're crying, like, oh my gosh.
Will you speak to us?
That's a yes. Yeah. They've done this before, obviously. Oh my gosh.
Are you the child killed by the cold heart?
No. Okay. Who is it then?
Joseph.
Joseph? Okay, interesting.
John.
He doesn't seem infected by all this. He's been very stoic, very like, oh, he wrote help. Oh my god, just the quick cuts. Oh my god, so scary. Just writing help over and over. Oh my god, she's run out of paper.
Why you are not at rest. Speak to John.
And this, like flying shot almost as he comes down through the chandelier into this room.
Why'd you remain in this house, Joseph?
I'd be terrified.
John is with us. How did you die?
He seems very skeptical about this whole process.
How did you die? Joseph, did you die in this house?
Oh my gosh. Oh my god, that's terrifying. That means yes. Oh my gosh. Yeah, I wouldn't get the heck out of there, buddy.
The coal cart.
No.
That was a no, for sure. Oh my gosh.
Are you the child killed by the coal cart?
No.
That was very clear. There's no other way of interpreting that. Like, it was distinct, and it sounded like a boy's voice as well.
How did you die? How did you die?
How did you die?
It's like the house is telling him what to say. Like, we hear the whisper, and then we hear the response.
Mother, don't.
Oh my god. Oh my god. That's why the tub. Oh my god, he drowned this little boy. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. And like a father priest, it looks like. Oh no. This horrible. That was the sound of him banging on the side of the tub. Oh. That's horrible. And that's why it stops suddenly, because he dies. Well, and that's the face he saw under the tub. That's horrible. Oh my gosh. How many times did he have to listen to this? And to see him, like, process his own grief through the grief of this other family. Like, oh my gosh, just so much for one person.
I just... Can you...
Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Do you have a heart attack?
And then an orphan.
Stop it, Sean, just for 1 minute, please.
What did she do? Or what is she seeing? Oh my god, the chair! The chair's alive! Oh my gosh. For a second I thought that John had died because he was in the chair and not on the floor after he had passed out. Oh, they actually are filming in Seattle. I can see the Space Needle behind them. Okay, interesting.
Help, as you know. Goodbye.
Something's not right. Yeah, was he at the orphanage? You guys got some kind of connection for sure.
It kept him in Switzerland until 1918. He came back here. He was 18 years old. Who was going to know that he wasn't the real son?
What? 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 They swapped out his son? What?
Weak, sickly, bedridden, couldn't even walk. He must have decided not to take a chance on the boy.
Because he's greedy and wants it money. Yeah, of course. He's like, my kid won't make it till this age, and he doesn't want to lose this fortune. That's horrible.
Thin. Almost gnome-like. And he was trying to come up through the floor.
Oh, that's terrifying. And again, this low angle shot, like looking up at her. Oh, I'm terrified of what they're gonna show. Oh my gosh. Yeah, and it looks like he's sitting in his chair, just floating underneath. Trying to talk to him, like, oh, yep. Think that's the only option. I was like a pool or something. Like, yeah, we know he drowned in the tub. This poor lady's like, I just wanted a nice house for me and my family.
I think I found something. What is it?
god. Is it gonna be the body? Yes! Oh my god, it's the fingers! That's where he buried him. Oh my gosh. If they can prove that that's the real son, though, if they can prove that's the real Joseph.
Assistant coroner said those bones had been down there maybe 50 years. Do you have some idea who that child was?
No, not really.
Why isn't he saying it?
Why don't you get some rest and I'll talk to you in the morning.
Fine. Drive careful.
You too.
Yeah, I guess, like, now they could probably pull DNA from it, but then obviously, yeah, he needs something more substantial to prove that it's actually Joseph. These POV shots are so creepy, but I think they're so well done. Whoa! I love it. I'm assuming this was done with, like, stop motion, just the necklace, yeah, slowly moving out of the dirt like that. So cool. I'm curious to find out what this is rated as well, because there's been, like, no swearing, you know, nudity, anything like that, no blood or gore, like, maybe PG even, which I think is interesting. But yeah, I love all the subtle little, like, a little bit here, like a door or a, you know, piano, and this necklace shot was so cool. He's like, thanks, Ghost. Appreciate you trying to solve your murder. But is anybody gonna believe him? Because the police were just there and they didn't find it.
Living in your house. Senator, look! Look, I want to show him that! I want to talk to him! Let me go with it! Senator!
Is he gonna know what it means? Yeah, is he gonna recognize the necklace? Yeah! His fake name.
This number. Yes, sir. Good point, Tower. This is 432 Sierra Charlie.
Is he gonna have a necklace just like it? Yep. He's mad! Yeah, he's like, you know everything now, and you're not doing enough about it. Oh. This guy's like, how did I end up here? Like, I was just trying to figure out what was going on in my house, and now he's become, yeah, this, like, amateur sleuth. And yeah, another overhead shot. I don't know what he's gonna do with this necklace now. It's his only proof, but again, nobody was there when he found it, so... Oh my god! Oh my god! Is that the police officer just got into a car accident? Oh my god, that's what it looks like. Oh! This ghost is mad.
I don't know how it happened. I don't know how it could have happened. There are no other cars. There's nothing. And it's upside down in the middle of the road.
Ghost. Mad ghost. Yep.
Just at your house. DeWitt, he's dead.
Oh my god. The vengeance is, yeah, it's spreading, man. It's getting creepier and creepier.
Father, who murdered the boy, his natural son, Joseph Carmichael.
Yeah, how much does he know of this story? Like, something must have freaked him out. He must have known that guy wasn't as obviously, like, his actual dad if he was in an orphanage.
This is a tape of the seance. There's no copy.
Bold move. Yeah, I guess he's like, I've taken this as far as I can go at this point. Oh my gosh. If this guy's curious, yeah.
One word. To anyone. You'll wish you'd never come into this world.
Yeah, like a part of him must have known something was off, obviously his whole life, but, you know, he obviously had benefits to this and was enjoying this life, so maybe didn't want to look into it too much, and then time progressed, and yeah, he obviously thinks very highly of his dad, and he has the same necklace, so... Oh my god, get out of there! Yeah, the chair's alive! Oh my gosh, it's got a mind of its own! That'd be so scary. Especially going down the stairs. There's so many in this big house. And like the chair POV chasing you. Oh my god, that's terrifying. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh, ran her over. Oh my gosh, ghost chair. As it was just the wheels spinning in the back, you gotta get out of the house. You gotta get out. The chandelier, yeah, oh my gosh. Run, run. He's had enough. He's like, you wanna do this? Then show yourself. Like, oh, this wind. What? Oh my gosh, this ghost is so powerful. He's real mad. Someone else got his legacy, obviously. And his name and his fortune. Oh my gosh. That chandelier is making me very nervous. I feel like it's gonna fall. And now the house, oh my god, it's on fire. The banister. What? I mean, that's a really cool shot. Terrifying though. I'm curious to find out how they did it, if it was practical. He's like, I've been wearing this thing, you know, my whole life. Is this a lie? Is this real? And the memory of his dad also. The ghost has found you! And having the gold light like flicker on his face like that. Oh my gosh. Terrifying. You gotta get out of there. Why is he going upstairs? Was that real? Was he actually there? Is he just imagining it? Oh my gosh. Well, he's not coming back down, that's for sure. The ghost wants his penance, and yeah, he's getting his sacrifice now with the other Joseph. Pretending to be him his whole life. Oh my gosh. And to mimic the shaking of what happened to him in the bath. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Yep. It got him in the end. Oh man. So creepy. And to have them shot through the window of the ambulance, really cool. The cinematography in this has been really well done, so creative. And just the chair stuff, like stuck in the rubble and like sitting up and by the front door. Oh my gosh. And the music box. Oh! The ghost is alive and well! Are they trying to set up for a sequel? Yeah, let me know in the comments. Oh, it was filmed in Canada? Interesting. Vancouver and New York. I was like, we definitely saw some Seattle shots, but that's cool that it was filmed in Vancouver as well. So that was my first time watching the 1980 film The Changeling on Tubi. You can watch it for free on that streaming platform. It was so crazy and so well done. I really liked it. I had no idea what to expect. My prediction of, you know, some sci-fi element was obviously way off, as we have this slow burn. And even when we have the starting shot of John Russell losing his family, you know, in this horrible car accident, there's no mystery there. Like, we see what happens, we know they're, on this holiday, and it's this horrible tragedy. And again, there's not really lots of blood and gore in this at all, like through the entire film. Like, there were some scenes that were tough to watch for sure. Obviously, we find out through later scenes that his family didn't make it, but that's not really the focal point of the story. And I was kind of thinking, okay, he's gonna process this grief, like, but again, we know right away what happened. It's this car, and there's no, yeah, like I said, there's no mystery there, and I love mystery, so it was interesting to kind of see his character process his grief and transform that into becoming this like amateur sleuth. And because he had that experience with grief, he had kind of opened this door into like this supernatural and be more open to, ghosts and those kind of experiences, because he had that loss and that grief and tragedy. And when he moved into the house, I thought, okay, maybe the ghosts of his daughter or his wife was coming with them and they were trying to communicate with him, and it's not them at all. Like, even though we do see his daughter's ball like bounce down the stairs, I feel very strongly that was Joseph, using that, and it wasn't the ghost of his family. But yeah, so very interesting. Not at all a storyline I thought we would be exploring, and not one that I think we've seen very often. Obviously, haunted houses are very common, but the fact that, someone who had experienced a tragedy is now becoming this sleuth to figure out another tragedy was interesting. So yeah, I really enjoyed it. I didn't realize it was a Canadian film till the end, so that was great, as I'm Canadian as well, so it was great to find that out. I did see like the Seattle skyline in a few of the backdrops, and they had mentioned that this was taking place in Seattle. That's where he moves after his family passes away, so I'm always curious if they actually shoot on location and what that looks like. But yeah, that house was a character in itself, so gorgeous with all these details. And if you've seen any of my other reaction videos, you know how much I love, the architecture of the house and how it becomes its own, character to tell the story, and these vast rooms, and just the really way that they set it up to make John feel isolated. Like, this is a new city, he doesn't really know anybody, he doesn't have his family with him, and he's got this massive house to contend with, and just like the vastness and emptiness. And I thought they did a really good job of making him feel alone in this space. And even when we hear his voice echo, like, that's how big this space is. And of course, it's an old house with history, and I love movies like that you get to unravel this mystery, and you kind of get to play detective along with the characters, and go to the library. Like, that's always my favorite part, is like the research part and them learning about families that had lived there. And even when we think it's, Cora, this girl who had been there in 1909, it's not her. And then we find out Joseph's story, which was heartbreaking. And to have this like political element as well was so creative. This, senator who's been a placeholder for somebody else's son his entire life, and for him to process that. And he would have been like a younger boy when he was adopted, but still, he would have known that something was off. But again, I mean, are you going to give up the opportunity? This young boy who, took over Joseph's life basically, and he never met the real Joseph, obviously. So, he's given these opportunities, he's given this, great life, and was able to make a name for himself as a senator. And yeah, I don't know how much digging you would want to do into that in case you discovered obviously something horrible like this, and you obviously thought so highly of his dad, and breaks down as soon as he starts thinking that, his father could have been capable of anything like this. So even when John confronts him and says, like, something's wrong, like, I feel like he would have known, but again, probably didn't want to explore it too much. I didn't recognize any of the cast. There was one name that looked familiar, so yeah, let me know in the comments if I would know them from anything. And I think this is an original screenplay as well. I didn't see any source material listed, so yeah, let me know. And given how this ended, I'm curious if there are sequels, because I feel like they were definitely trying to set it up for a sequel with having, Joseph's chair by the door and the music box playing on its own, which was so interesting and so creepy. Like, this movie is definitely creepy. It's not going to be, an edge-of-your-seat thriller, but it definitely had its scary moments, definitely creepy, and I liked this slow burn as we build. But once it started to get going, like, it did not stop, and it was just terrifying. And I really like the subtle elements they had, like the one piano key playing, and they progressively get more and more extreme. The door closes or the taps running, which we, find out the significance of, as Joseph was unfortunately drowned. And even when they discover Joseph's room, they don't really know what to do with it, but clearly he led them there and he wanted to communicate and have his story told. And he was tired of, somebody else living his life, basically, and nobody knowing what happened to him also. But it's not, an intense blood and gore splatter fest. It's the little things and the sounds of the banging, which I thought were the piano keys, but again, we find out it's the, him trying to live, fighting for his life, hitting the side of the tub, and even his necklace shaking, matches the necklace on the picture frame to the necklace in the tub, like just this constant struggle. And I think they did such a great job of pairing those elements together and really telling that story and reminding us that somebody was killed and this is them, struggling for their lives. And the chair, to have that, chair POV as it goes through the house and down the stairs and chasing after Mrs. Norman and running through the whole house was so cool. And I wouldn't think a chair would be creepy, but clearly they brought it to a whole new level. Just to see this wheelchair sitting at the top of the stairs and like, you didn't put it there and you're the only one in the house, and finding the tub full of water, and again, that wasn't you didn't put that there. And just all these little things, having the glass break from inside of his room, just like this angry spirit trying to, literally fighting to tell his story from the other side. And yeah, just so well done. And that scene where we find out how Joseph dies, I thought they would reveal it at the very, very end, but they kind of have it, starting towards the third act, which was interesting because then we know and we get to deal with kind of the process after that instead of waiting till the very end and there not really being any, aftermath. And I thought when they was calling him father, it looked like he was almost dressed like a clergyman, but it was his actual, biological dad, which is horrible that, somebody could do that to their own child because, he figures out, okay, my child is probably not going to make it to the age where he would, benefit from this money. So to unalive him and then have another kid take his place was horrible. A whole new level of cruel. And obviously the dad isn't going to get punished for his crimes. He's been long gone. This replacement son is now processing all of this, and we see him pass away at the end as well from a heart attack, and as he finally gets the truth. And to see John just leave the evidence with the senator, like, here, you want the truth, here's the truth, like, I've done all the legwork, I've figured everything out for you, if you want to believe it, here you go. And just, I couldn't imagine how overwhelming that would be to finally come face to face with the truth like that you've probably been, ignoring for the past 60 years, whatever it's been. I really like that shot they had of the necklace coming out of the sand and how the ghost of Joseph was basically like, here, like he's giving it to John, like, here, take this, please, like, prove this. But again, the police didn't see that and nobody else was there. But that definitely means something to the senator, and, he recognized the necklace because he has the same one. So how can there be two? It's very specific with their name and the date on it and, location. So again, I loved all the research and, finding out the mysteries and all the characters that were in play and, having our historical society, giving them this huge house. And we don't know much about our main character, John. Obviously, we know his family tragedy, and he's this, world-renowned music composer. But again, we don't know much about him other than that. But I don't know that we need to. I think his role in this is being our eyes and ears and, our detective and figuring out everything that happened to Joseph. And he wasn't able to save his family, but maybe, through some cathartic process, he can try and save Joseph, or at least bring Joseph's story to light and have that, completed. But, like we saw at the end, his chair is still there, his music box is still there, so something is still lingering. And I love John's connection to music, and obviously we saw the music box that Joseph had in his room as well, and that John had somehow composed that exact same melody that they had without ever hearing the melody before. And I feel like he would remember, hearing something like that. Really spooky, and I think they did a good job of playing with those creepy elements, but still making it feel very realistic. Like, you could be in your house and the ball could fall down this, like, what does that mean? And you're throwing it in the river and then it comes right back. Like, just gives you goosebumps and, like, the hair on your arm stands up. It's just so creepy. And those are the types of horror movies that I really like, the more like psychological ones and where there's, a mystery involved. The sound design, like I said, was so great, and again, tying into John's connection to music, having this instrumental soundtrack, and it just added, from even the opening credits, I was like, this is gonna have a good soundtrack. It was so creepy, so moody, and just really set the scene for everything. And yeah, that continued throughout as we have, the echoes and the banging sounds and all these little pieces. I think you need a good sound design for a horror movie because, jump scares can only get you so far, but I think they did a good job with incorporating that. And the cinematography was outstanding. I love the POV shots, and I know that's common in horror movies to have those like killer POV shots, but this felt more like, a ghost as opposed to, an axe wielding murderer. You're watching and observing, and kind of those aerial shots, I feel like in horror movies represent more of like a ghostly presence as you're looking from above and kind of, surveying everything, and tons of aerial shots, which I loved, and really just creative cinematography, which you don't need to do. Like, you could make the movie, put the camera on the tripod, and that's it. But I love that they take those extra steps to tell the story in an exciting visual way as well, as we, float through this house and float past the chandelier, and just, some quick zooms in and out during the seance scene as well, where she's writing, and just really creative shots. And of course, the chair POV as it's chasing down the hallway. But I love that they took the time to incorporate those. Towards the end of the film, the body count was definitely adding up. We obviously start with the loss of John's family, but, the police officer dies basically as soon as he threatens John, saying, like, I'll come back with a warrant and I'll tear this house apart. And obviously, Joseph doesn't want that. He wants John to continue on, with this journey of trying to get his story out there. And, obviously the senator dies as well, and John has a heart attack but is able to make it. Definitely not the cheese movie that I had, predicted at the beginning either. This was spooky and just, the classic haunted house, which is a story that is, been done before, but I love it no matter what. And, this grand house is our character, and just a really cool movie. I really enjoyed it. So yeah, let me know in the comments if there are sequels, if you think I should watch those. Typically, I'm skeptical of sequels as they're rarely as good, but yeah, I'm very curious to see if they try and continue this. Overall, I really enjoyed it. Great cinematography, great soundtrack. I didn't recognize any of the actors, but I really enjoyed their performances. I thought they were decent, so I'm curious to find out if I have seen them in other things and I just missed their name. I love that we found out, Joseph's story, and doing this research and unraveling this mystery and getting to see all these pieces and go back through the history of the house and all the people that had lived there. Because, with a house that old, of course, there's going to be stories and ghosts, and just kind of getting to explore that, and to have this tragedy of John's family be our catalyst for him to maybe even be interested in this. He was pretty stoic throughout the entire film. We don't really see him break, very often. There's definitely a few moments, but even in the seance, he's very he's not looking concerned. He's just looking very trying to process everything, and maybe because he's more detached, he's able to look at it more like a critical eye as opposed to being more emotionally involved. But I think as the story progressed, he definitely was more emotionally involved and trying to find out what happened, and listening to the tapes and hearing the house whisper, and then Joseph's very clear voice coming through was so spooky, because we don't see that in the seance scene. So to hear that was so well done and so creepy. I really enjoyed it. I'm so glad I watched it. So thank you so much for sharing in this first time watching with me. If you have any other suggestions for movies you think I should watch, please comment below. And as always, please like, comment, and subscribe to this channel, and check back often for more awesome content. I knew it was haunted. There's no way that this old house isn't haunted. Yeah, he knows that wasn't him, obviously. Someone's turning the tap on. Secret passageway. Is that a tiny wheelchair? What is that? That was the sound of him banging on the side of the tub. That's the real son. And now the house, oh my god, it's on fire. The banister.